Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my new crossover. So today I decided to do Mr. Krabs from Spongebob and Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z. Before I get started and I start sharing some of my thoughts on this piece, I just wanted to ask you, if you end up watching this, to let me know if you would like to see some of these pieces as a t-shirt. I've had some people reach out and ask me if I was planning on making t-shirts or something like that, putting it out there. I wasn't thinking about doing something like that, but I guess if enough people are interested in seeing these in t-shirts and things like that, then I can look into what it would take to get these in t-shirts and maybe other products for you. Anyway, so today, like I said, we have Mr. Krabs and Master Roshi. I couldn't think of who else I would cross Mr. Krabs with, but you know, it was fitting that, you know, he's kind of like one of the older characters in SpongeBob, and so is Master Roshi. So, and they're both kind of quirky in their own way. You know, Mr. Krabs, you know, he loves money and stuff like that. I mean, and Master Roshi, you know, in the anime, he's more into like women and he's a little bit of a pervert, but you know, I think that the personalities matched enough that we could probably do something with it. So here, Mr. Krabs was a little big, so I figured, hey, if Master Roshi were to fuse with Mr. Krabs, then he probably wouldn't be as big, since if you've ever seen the anime, when Master Roshi takes off, you know, his clothes, he's actually pretty skinny. But there are times where, you know, he goes like Super Master Roshi, if you want to call it that, and he gets pretty huge. But that wasn't the crossover that I was looking at when I was looking to do this one. So as of now, I'm here trying to figure out, okay, so what am I gonna do for clothes? Am I just gonna mimic what I see in Master Roshi, or is there something that I can do with Mr. Krabs and take some of his items? You know, it's always, for me anyway, I don't have an idea of what I'm going to do for these characters, except for who I have chosen to cross them with. A lot of the times this is a discovery process for me. You know, as I'm looking at the characters, you know, taking little pieces from each and making sure that it fits as well as it could. And in this case, for example, for Patrick, he has the same type of feet where it's just like a stub. It doesn't really have like feet or claws coming out. So I decided that for this one, I would give him some feet. And when it comes to pants, I first thought of just mimicking what Master Roshi had, but I thought it would be kind of cool to take a little bit from Mr. Krabs and maybe do a fusion there. So you're gonna see pretty soon that I'm going to get rid of some of the t-shirt and add a belt and a few other things to mimic a little bit more of Mr. Krabs. And as you can see, for example, we got rid of some of the eyelids here, and we put some of the eyebrows from Master Roshi, and I went with the more cartoony feel where they're kind of hanging in the air, but you can kind of see like they're part of, you know, his eyes, and I did shorten them a little bit. And at first I was gonna do just like an open mouth, but you know, Master Roshi has that iconic kind of like two teeth coming out type look, so that's what I wanted to add to this crossover between him and Mr. Krabs, to kind of emphasize a little bit more of the Master Roshi side. And I think it came out pretty well. I think it looks kind of funny, you know, to have like this old guy with two teeth almost. And yeah, so here I'm just adding the belt that I was talking about before, and in trying to figure out the best way to include that in the piece. I did reference a little bit more of Mr. Krabs' what would you call that, his outfit, as I went along, just to try to make sure that, you know, we got that belt right. And here I thought, well, instead of keeping the eyes, let's continue on and give them kind of like the shades of Master Roshi. So that's why you see the red shades there. And another item that I decided to take from Master Roshi was the shell. I mean, that's something that's very iconic of the character. If you end up watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And yeah, so right here I'm just gonna add a few more details. So I'll just let it play out and I'll come back in a bit. That turtle shell did give me a little bit of trouble, because at first, if you look at Master Roshi, he's facing us. Well, the Mr. Crab version here that I'm working on is at a 3/4 view. So what I ended up doing was that I needed to take that shell and try to fit the view that we have for the cartoon. Oh yeah, and I decided here that you know, we needed a little bit more of Mr. Krabs. In this case, I decided to give him some money. You know, we have the the cane or the stake or whatever you want to call it from Master Roshi, but I figured since Mr. Krabs loves money so much, we needed to add some of that to the piece. So here, after I finished the roughs, it was time to ink, and I did something a little bit different here. I used my G pen and I was going for a little bit more of a, I wouldn't even call it cartoon look, but a little bit more detailed look for this piece. So I'm curious to see if you guys end up enjoying it more than some of the other styles that I was doing before. It's a little bit of an experiment, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Now for the coloring, I decided to do something a little bit more comic book-esque when it came to the colors. I would think of Marvel or DC when it comes to this type of coloring, where you really have some bold lighting coming into place. And it's a style that I don't do often. It does take a little bit more time to do, but with the style of the lines, I thought that it would fit well. And also, I'm not the greatest at using this style just because I don't do it often. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if it works, if you enjoyed the coloring that I did in that style. So here are the lines. Then we see the flat layer. Then we move on to some basic shading. And then you're gonna see the lights coming up in a second here. And yeah, so this is the final piece. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. And again, give me any feedback. Let me know of any other characters that you would like me to cross over. I already got a suggestion for Sandy, possibly crossing her over with Bulma or Chi-Chi. Let me know in the comments which one you think would fit her better if we do a crossover with Sandy from SpongeBob. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please share, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.